Hey. Oh. How do I turn it off, though? Oh. That thing blew off. Okay. It's supposed to... Is it on now? No. It's not on. I mean, I'm following the directions. I don't understand. Insert the thin end of the cartridge into the pin nozzle and then gently screw them with an anti-clockwise motion. I am screwing them with an anti-clockwise motion. What do you mean? Still... Okay, if I can't get the damn thing in there... What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I'm trying. Oh, okay, I got it. That's gonna go on my face. My forehead, I need 1.0. Oh my God. 1.5. Okay. We're gonna sit for a minute because this still has to finish. I got, hold on. I have very specific things that I use on my skin when I put them on before to push in, and it is prickly pear seed oil and my lips are so numb. And it's like 5:30 for me. The hyaluronic acid with the smaller, the hyaluronic acid with this smaller, pieces. So you can get hyaluronic acid, or you can get this other hyaluronic acid that has smaller molecules, I think. And I got the one with the smaller molecule. I don't even know where my mouse is, so I couldn't tell you. I'm on the East Coast. So, it's 6:31 here. Okay. So, let's keep in mind that I am under the supervision of a professional esthetician. Not an esthetician, esthetician. Okay. And then I got to do really small under here. And I have my mirror. Where's my mirror? See, I have this on my witch desk because I have like glamour magic stuff on here with me. Like crepe myrtle leaves and flowers. But I know I brought my mirror over here, but now I can't find it. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. I got it. All right. Got extra support. Good. I got my close-up mirror, so I'll be looking into it too. So I'll try to get it to where I can sort of be in. Okay. So since I'm doing okay, if you're doing this just to maintain or to improve your skin texture, you are only going to use the 0.5 all over your face. Okay. So let me make that really clear. What I'm doing is a procedure. Okay. So I'm going to be using professional lengths on this needle thing. I can't feel shit. But I bet y'all feel a needle. So that's what I need y'all to understand. Is I'm going to be using lengths that are not recommended for regular folks. That doesn't mean you can't do it. I'm just letting you know that I didn't pull these lengths that I'm using out of my imagination, okay? Where's my pad? Okay. All right. We may be doing blood sacrifice. And I'm not doing my hair today because I have to figure out if I should use regular numbing cream, or if the spray cream will be enough, you know? So we're just going to do the major skin procedure on my face. So this may show bruising, and it may show blood. And I recorded all the prep work so that when I'm done, I can cut this all into an informative video so you know everything I did. Because I did a lot of prep work to my face that y'all don't know about. And I'm also going to be needling areas that they tell you not to needle at home. But I am not going to pay $350 for a procedure every month if I, close practice, if I can learn how to properly do it and share it with y'all. Because I do not want to go under anesthesia for any kind of cosmetic procedure. That just freaks me out. Anesthesia is just too scary. It's just too scary. The older you get, the worse it gets. I'm going to do my healthy for my skin smoking as well. So I'm going to be using the hyaluronic acid, the micro stuff, and the prickly pear seed. What I'll be pushing into my skin. Oh, hey, Dark Forest. Yeah, because the thing is getting the right pen can be expensive. But after that, these little bottles of shit last a really long time. And you can, instead of paying $200 to $350 a month, you can do this yourself. So my boobie is itching. I also have dermaticuloma. So if you see me in here doing this, it's because I'm fucking picking my tit. Sorry. That is hard to break. All right, I'm on 1.5. If it's not too bad, I'll move to 2 for my chin and my forehead. But the older you get, the less pain you can tolerate. I learned that when I got tattoos. Nobody told me that, so yeah. That's always fun. And I'm also going to be doing the lift and release method. I'm not going to be dragging because these are going in. If you're doing like 0.5, because you want to improve your texture, you can just drag. It doesn't go as deep as a tattoo needle. So I'll be doing the touch and release method. I won't be doing that. You can do that with 0.5, but not what I'm doing. It doesn't go near as deep as a tattoo needle. I would not do that. Finally, Joanne, do you know how long I've been trying to get your shit to you, Joanne? It's been like 8 motherfucking months. That's why I was like, let me make this as fantastic as I can possibly make it. I was like, God damn. Joanne's like, I put in that order last year. I tell you what, Joanne, you have the patience of Job. Yeah, Deb Kitty, I'm going to put it together. Yeah. I'm going to put it together in a video that shows everything I did before, too, because I did a lot of prep work. I was like, Joanne's down for it. She is down. And then when I finally got the herb that I needed, which was, I got it right here, black henbane. Oh, man, did that take me forever to get. I got 120 black henbane seeds while I was at it, and so I could grow it. Joanne's over there going, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Joanne is die hard. I want to know Joanne in real life. That's the most patient person I've ever seen. All right. I'm waiting. I got a few more minutes to wait for my numbing. And I'm a pussy for pain, buddy. God. Well, let me change that. I'm a pussy for self-imposed pain. So tattoos, this. If I get seriously injured by an accident, I can handle that pretty well. It can be pretty bad, but when I see that I'm fixing to do it to myself, my body's like, no. So, hello, Yellow Rose. I'm only supposed to use like a 0.4 or 0.5 right here because this isn't the color of my skin. Let me show y'all. You see how it's not that color? It's actually not that color. The problem is that I don't have any collagen left here. And so that's actually the color of my muscle tissue beneath that skin. Because if I pull up the thicker skin, it's not there. So this skin is so thin, they told me to use like a 0.4 through here. We got a couple more minutes of weighting. Yeah, it's not discoloration. It's just that's how thin it is. And so in that trough is where I've lost the thing. Because even if I pull down, hold on. See how the skin above it is thick enough to cover the color? And the skin below it, but not the trough. It's not. So that's the area I'll be going that they're like, don't do that. And then, yeah. And then I'll be doing this up here. And the reason you do this is because it pulls that up, right? So you don't actually tattoo the part where it's droopy or derma roll. You do it up here on this, over the bone. You pull it up and you do it, and then you let it go, and it pulls back up. And let me be clear for anybody that's going to be in here while I do this. Yeah, it really works. That's why I'm doing it. Hey, Mage. But I want to be clear that these, right, and my laugh lines, I don't mind them. So I'm not going to be doing any specific work on those. I'm a very, I already did microdermabrasion. I did a lot of prep work before this. I am very, very expressive with my face. And I don't want those to go away. A lot of women and men want these and these to go away. I don't want them to go away. So you will not see me spend a lot of time in those areas. I'll go over them because they're there, but you won't see me focus on that. I don't mind that. Hi, Vic. Also, the pen that I'm using is the Tillman professional microneedling pen. So it allows me to vary how long the needle is that's going into my skin. And it has varying speeds and such. So it's definitely worth the investment. The doctor pens don't allow you to do that. That's the trendy at home pen. But the professional pen was worth it. I think I caught this pen on sale for like $150. So that's the only expensive investment that you use. And then the one for your hair actually is a doctor pen, but it is an adjustable stamp pen because my thinness is literally right here, just here. And the automatic pen can get tangled. And so you use the big block stamp pen. And then you add, when you're doing that, is when you add that. That's the liquid you'll be adding into there for the thinning hair. But it's not like when you use any of the hair treatments because you have to treat your hair every day with that. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is forcing the scalp to make brand new cells that are like these, that are not reacting to the DHT. So you only use the liquid Vioxin when you're actually doing the procedure to speed it up. So when I do that, I'll check in when I see little baby hairs coming out. And then after this heals, I'll be doing a chemical peel. And then after that is when I'm going to start using the laser thing that I got for free. And I'm going to use it on my mustache first. Because that is, before I use it anywhere else, I'm going to put it right here across my mustache. That's what I'm saying. You have to use the minoxidil forever if you do it that way, but that's not what you do when you're using the derma rolling pen. Okay. What time is it? What time is it, East Coast? $6:47. All right. All right. So I am using this hyaluronic acid with the smaller shit in it. And I am using prickly pear seed. If y'all don't know about prickly pear seed, go check it out. Well, maybe one day I'll get sponsored, but I do a lot of copyright claims, and so I doubt my YouTube will ever be sponsored because I have a lot of copyrighted music on my TikToks and stuff that get uploaded, and I don't mind. I'm doing this to myself, and if it works for y'all, good. So I'm using myself as a guinea pig. All right, so I'm going to start with my... Oh, this stuff is thick as fuck. I don't know how much I'm going to use, so... I'm mixing to get out. I'm mixing together my prickly pear seed with my hyaluronic, I'm gonna put it really heavy wherever I'm going to be microneedling. Oh, the prickly pear smells like literally the cactus. All right, so I covered it pretty good. I think it's because I got to put it on so thickly. I'm just using equal parts too. The hyaluronic is pretty chunky monkey. I'm going to put links to the brands of every single thing that I use when I turn this video into when I edit this with the other stuff to make the actual video. I'm gonna have a link to every single thing that I use. I think I need a little bit more. Prickly pear seed oil. You want to get organic, obviously. But I learned about prickly pear seed oil a long time ago when I very first started researching. And y'all know how I am about research. And I was like, oh, I don't hear people talk about this much. Oh, this is being slept on. I'm about to use it right now. I want to get everything thoroughly coated. I mean, I dermaplaned my face and everything. I've done everything to it to prep it. And that will be in the big video, too. All right. But yeah, I'm going to give a link to every single thing when I make the... Hey, Marisol. When I make the big video. All right. The only reason I'm not cleaning this in alcohol is because it's never been uncapped. However, when I get done this time, I will take it off and clean it in alcohol. So I'm going to be keeping this cap. God, this looks so scary. Let me turn this on and look at it. Oh my God, that looks so scary. I'll turn it all the way up to 6. I'm so scared. I am glad that I have this numbing cream on. I tell you right now, I'd be fucking screaming right now. Okay, yeah, not there. We'll come back with a smaller needle. With following the directions of the numbing cream, I'm only at about a 2. And I am on 1.5. They want me to use 2.5? Right, okay. Yeah, I definitely got to lower it to go around my lips. Sorry, I know. I got it hard. Okay, the other space I'm supposed to use this length is my forehead. It will charge, but I have the cord on. Oh, I just didn't have numbing cream there. Okay, we're good. I tell you what, y'all better follow your damn numbing cream guide directions. Because wow, if you don't. I hope I'm using the right tap method. Should I be tapping more or less often? Does anybody know? I'm going to share the lidocaine cream. I'm going to share everything when I put the video together. Should I be tapping more often, less often? Anybody know? Anybody? No? Okay. Okay, now I have to change it. Hold on. Okay. Whew. All right. We're doing 2 millimeters for the fleshy parts. This is how fast I saw the anesthetician going. Because they were like, don't drag when you go this deep. Well, I watched all kinds of videos while it was being done. And I have an anesthetician that's helping me with all this. I mean, an esthetician. boy. Numbing cream is a saver. Oh, that's gonna make me sneeze. All right, now these I gotta spread out. Ow! Okay, we're gonna try lower on that. All right. The numbing agent that I used has 3 different things in it. It's the best one on the market because it's not just lidocaine. I don't think you understand how fast these needles are going into my face. It's not going to take a long time at all. With each tap, these things are going in and out of my skin like fucking 11,000 times. I wish it had some cocaine in it. Okay, so my chin can take 2. It's amazing the different densities, thicknesses across your face. Okay. All right. Now I got to reduce down really far. Really far, really far. Less than that. 3. No, it's way less than a tattoo because I have on so much numbing cream. This would suck otherwise. This is the part I'm nervous about because the skin is so thin. That looks way fucking longer than 1/5. Oh my God, how long is the ones that I stuck in my rest of my face? Let me look. Let's see, let's go up to 2. Can y'all see how long? Damn it. Can you see how long 2 millimeters is? Oh my God. I just stuck that in my face and it was fine. Okay. Let's go back down. I have to go really low. Yeah, man, it was really far. Because I'm looking at 0.3 on here, and I'm like, 0.3, that's long as fuck. Oh. Okay. I'm scared. Okay, I gotta pull it down over the bone. Okay. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay. I just realized that I need to go over my entire face again. I'm gonna tell y'all why in a minute. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Let's sneeze again. I am. Okay, hold on. Okay, the reason I have to go back over my face again. Okay, so the needles do not come above this cap. So I need to press in more. So I have to push it in so that my skin makes a mound in there. So what I did was probably just a 0.5. So I need to press a little bit more, which is what I realized when I was going under here. I need to press a little bit harder. But I'm going to do my lip and pray to Jesus when I do it. Okay. Oh, that fucking hurts. Oh, I don't care who you are. This hurts. It's only 1.2. I'll keep doing it. The more times I do it, the more it'll numb. There we go. Okay. Well, the more times you do it, the number it gets. I think that's enough for a first go, don't y'all? Okay, I can do it. That's a scar on the third one. That's gonna be a bitch. Okay. Thanks, bird. Okay, okay, okay. Are you watching me? This is like getting a bee sting each time. I'm gonna need a cigarette break after this. Okay. Suck it up. You're a badass witch. Suck it up. Fuck. Okay. Let's have a healthy cigarette break. It's always good for the skin before we do my face again. I think. Dude, what are you licking? Nobody's ass tastes that good. I think I need to let the numbing cream sit on the lips a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. That was like getting a bee sting. Dude! If your ass tastes that good, I'm gonna cook you. Yeah. Glass of wine. I got some brandy over there. So I got some whiskey. Okay. That's right, chicken. Oh, I don't want to wipe my face. Okay, yeah. Definitely need to leave that thicker and on my lips longer. When am I not chaotic? But, yeah. So I got to go over the main parts of my face again. Oh, that's cool. You can see all the little pointy holes in my eyebrow. So, I'm going to give y'all all the details. When I take this live and put it together with the other pre-recorded videos I have to make it an official-ish YouTube video, I'm going to have the whole procedure, everything I did beforehand. You'll be able to see what I'm doing during, and under the description, I'm going to list every single thing that I use. So that when we're going to check on this in a couple, as it heals, to see if there's a difference. Now, I'll be able to see more of a difference because I'm like right up in this magnifying mirror. And I know the parts on my face that I don't like. So, I'll be able to tell quicker than you guys will. But I got to go over and do my face again with the right lengths. It does work on stretch marks. You have to use a longer needle though. I don't give a shit about my stretch marks. But if you do, yes, it will. But what I was saying was, I'm going to go back over the majority of my face now that I know I have to press more each time. Yeah, I bet they are looking luscious now. This is going to be once a month because this is very invasive, okay? If you just want to improve your texture of your skin, you use it at 0.5 and you do your entire face, which I'm going to do after I do the heavy stuff. I'm going to turn it to 0.5 and go over the face. That's when you can do the pull. Because I'm doing the invasive one, there should be a minor amount of improvement visible after each one, which is why I chose to do this one. Because I don't want to do, I want to be like, and then wait a month, and then, and wait a month. So I'm having like that's why I say this is not supposed to be the at-home stuff. This is like what you would have done. This depth is what you would have done if you were go to have it done for $250, $350 a month. And I'm like, but if I can learn to do it at home, I can skip that. And I think everyone will be able to see how the lip wrinkles improve, because that's the most prominent thing that you notice about me when I do videos. You can't see so much the small details is the under eye and the lip wrinkles. You should be able to see start to improve a lot faster. I mean, it'll be a lot more visible than the other things that I want to do. Yeah. So, after my cigarette break, we're going to go back to 1.5 on my chin and forehead, the proper way, and 2.5 on the fleshy parts of my face and my labial folds. The aftercare is, I will apply an all over of the 2 serums and just let them soak in overnight. I will personally judge by my skin what it wants. So in other words, y'all know I always wash my face every night with exfoliating gloves. I probably won't do that because I want the healing to go without ripping off any micro scabs. So I will probably only use my fingertips for cleansing my face for the next week or so. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like and people who don't smoke get them too. I don't like those, and I don't like these. And there's a couple of wrinkles coming in through here that y'all can't see that I can. Like I said, these are fine with me. My crow's feet are fine with me. I'm really expressive. But, so my needs are different. If, you go into one of these shops, they're going to be like, oh, we can do this and this. No, my wrinkles are fine. I don't want to look 20. I just want to look better for 45. That's all. I just want to look like yeah, you can do it on the neck. I'm not there yet. I know people always faint. I use olive soap that I get from Greece. You don't have to get it from Greece. You can get it. I think Shea Moisture makes one. But I've used olive soap for as long as I can. That's a lie. I started using olive soap when I was about 19. I lived in South Florida, and I got hired on by a Greek family in a restaurant. That's when I was introduced to olive soap. That's all I've ever used. I do, during my normal care, I do use a tea tree and witch hazel toner. It doesn't have to be this one. I literally got this one on sale for $2.50 at TJ Maxx. Tea tree and witch hazel toner after, and then I use the Midnight Velvet from Face Tory, which is not expensive, And that's the one I was like, oh my God. Like, y'all started seeing a difference in my skin and would talk about it after I started using Face Story. And it's only like $20 a tub. Sí, jabón de oliva. Sí. Well, I don't really have eye bags. I have no collagen left. So that's what I'm pumping in there. But you can look up microneedling for eye bags. Hey, Minecraft Gamer from Greece. That's where I get my soap from. Oh, I'm not using that now. After this, I'm just going to put more of the serums on and leave it be. I also started getting, because I can, not because you should, because I have a little bit higher income now, I started getting some hard to find herbs from Greece, because it grows, it's a, what do you call it, renewable wild resource there. And I actually started getting some of my herbs from there, because a lot of the ones that we use here also grows there. Marisol, you can use rubbing alcohol. I'm the false god from TikTok. Oh, okay. No, I am. I'm not a millionaire. No, I mean, I can afford like $25 to $30 for those herbs if I get them for organic from Greece. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I reduced this. I reduced it down to 0.4 under the eye, as a esthetician told me to. All right. We got to get back to the rest of my face before this numbing cream wears off. Upper middle class mama. Mama Foot doesn't live upper middle class. I don't want physical things. Like, I bought my purse for myself. I need a bigger space to live in, but I don't want to live in those neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them, and I don't want to have anything to do with them. So I'm literally living here in my trailer and saving my money so that I can find something big that is far out in the country where I don't have to deal with people. I want to be able to do stuff, not have stuff. Does that make sense? I want to be able to do stuff. I have a car. I have a roof over my head. I don't have to worry about paying my power bill anymore. Do you know how much relief that is? That I can pay my rent and my power bill and not have to worry that I'm not going to be able to pay it. I can't go to Iowa. Dude, that was huge. I can go out to eat now. Just when I want to. I can literally go out to eat now. Whenever I want. I'm sorry, but that's rich enough for me. I'm good. There were times where I couldn't go out to eat for years. All right. The first month that I was able to pay my power bill and my rent and not worry that you don't understand. I don't care about those rich people. That was huge for me. I can provide for my family without having a crisis each month. Hey, Cora. I can be a little scary. Okay, we're going to go back to doing my whole face properly this time. So let's gear this bad boy back up. There we go. Your ears were burning? Well, I actually wasn't talking about you. Okay, so now I'm pressing in the way I should have the first time. Wait, this is 1.5. Oops, I'm supposed to be over here. It's a little bit more painful. Not too bad, though. Hold on, Clara. Yeah, it's still working. I think I did that good. Okay. What the fuck? Drilling inside my head. I have not went to Greece. But I have Greek family and Greek DNA. I didn't know I had Greek DNA until this year, though. Oh, it's gonna make me sneeze. I'm going on with third eye. I have some Greek DNA, which I didn't know until this year. Whoppa! Yes. You know what else I learned? You know that Greek plant y'all use for teas? It's that same Greek plant that I can't pronounce, but y'all use it whenever you get a cold. You use it for teas and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You can use that in combination with lavender to calm down spirits in your house. Without, if you sage them, it pisses them off. But if you use that herb with lavender, they just calm down so that you can communicate with them better so that they know that you're not there to hurt them. Yep. Yep, you just put lavender with it, bundle it up like you were going to do a smudging stick, and use that to sage your house instead. And it calms spirits down instead of making them angry. Oh my God. Okay, Cora. So I'm under the supervision of an esthetician, and I'm doing some severe microneedling to my face, like as if I went to go have it done. And so like that's what I'm doing, because I don't want to pay to have it done if I can do it myself. So that's what I'm doing. Will my face be? No, I found it here. Scottish, Scandinavian, undetermined. Oh yeah, you should do CGI. CGI will break down the other stuff, by the way. All right, let's do the fleshy parts. Yeah, so. You definitely want to follow the directions on your numbing cream. To protect your house? I mean, the best way to protect the house is to decorate the outside with protective plants. And you have a lot of them in Greece. By just planting them on the outside or having them inside as a house plant. That's the most effective way, honestly. Yeah, you can feel it going in more now that I'm using it properly. I don't know what to use under my nose, but I think I'm going to go down some. Yeah, let's go down some. I'm going to go down to a 1. I'm going to go down to a 1. That'll work. It's less painful when you stretch it out. I guess that's why you got to stretch it out. Okay. So, real quick, I'm going to clean this. Let me turn this all the way up to 2.7. I'm only going to put it on level 1, and I'm going to put it in this 90% alcohol. Get it nice and sterilized. I don't know what's going on, but somebody's hurt. I'm sorry. All right. Now that it's sterilized, let me toss that out. And I'm going to let it dry before I put the lid back on this point. That's 91%. While I'm letting that dry, I'm going to apply more shit to my face, okay? I'm going to use some 70% on my hands. Let's get any critters off. Okay. All right. Let's put more crap on my face. All right. So again, I'm using that hyaluronic stuff. It's very aloe vera feeling. And then I'm using my prickly pear seed stuff. I'm just using hyaluronic acid. Like I said, when I put this whole thing together, I am going to put everything that I used in the description. All right. Now I'm going to slather this shit on my face. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm super shiny. It looks like I have on a cum mask, but I don't. All right. So, today, what's the date today if you're in America? Well, I mean, obviously you take a chance about that, Mage, but that's why I was trying to be so careful in cleansing my hands and everything. This stuff is not supposed to have bacteria in it, but, I mean, there's always a chance. Saturday the 8th. All right, so I'm going to repeat this on November the 8th. And y'all saw me, I sterilized that. So now I'm going to try to do the, there it go. Okay, got it out. So, I can definitely tell that I did something to my face. I think if once my cream, the numbing cream wears off, I'll be able to feel like my face will be sore. I know y'all probably can't see very close up, but it is red from where I did everything. So I can definitely tell, but I do not feel like it feels like sunburn. Like, it feels like minor sunburn. That's the pain level, if you're wondering. And I will, tomorrow when I wake up, I will also give a, day after review. But this pen was definitely, I did my research, and this pen is the bomb. This is definitely the one to get. And I used it at the highest level at 10 throughout the entire procedure. 10. The highest level is 6. Yeah, I'm getting microblading done on my birthday week in Atlanta. I'm so excited! Because I like a very specific type of microblading for eyebrows, and usually it is Asian providers that do it. And I found one where I saw the receipts, and it is in right on the outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going down there to see my best friend for my birthday week. Dink, go on. Because the Asian microbladers, you know how some people, they'll do the microblading, but they also do this shading, which I cannot stand. But the, I believe these ladies are Korean, South Korean, and they only use strokes, and they don't, I don't want my eyebrows to be really thick. I've never worn them really, I don't know what the fuck that just was. I want them, they're sparse, and I just want the shape to be better. Oh, Wicked Witch, they've done that to me too. I stopped using the word readings. Yeah. So they have a very different type of method. Is that a moth? Or am I seeing shit? They use a very different type of method when they do their microblading. And I was like, no, I want that. And it just so happens for my birthday week, I am going down to right outside of Atlanta. And so, thanks. I just poked 1,000 million holes in it. And so I can go to them. And so I'm very, very stoked about that. I can go to the people that I want to go to. Yeah. So I haven't done anything close to a vacation in so long that this birthday week, going to my BFFs, I do have one, you know. Actually met one here. Is so crazy to me. I do this one. What I did was so invasive that I do it once a month. It will be healed enough to go about regular routines in one whole week. Anyway, I'm so fucking excited. Do you have a book of shadows? Well, if you mean grimoire, I call them a recipe book. I have a recipe book. Yes. I'm going down to right outside of Atlanta. I'm so excited. I'm so used to working for the man, and I always worked on holidays where everybody else took vacation because you get paid time and a half. And so I looked forward to holidays so I could make time and a half. And this time, I'm actually going to go do something for me and go see my friend. Because, you know, I'm BPD, so I only have like 2. I warn y'all, I'm not good at friendships for that reason. And I'm going to get intoxicated. I haven't got purposely intoxicated in a very long time. Yes, Cora. That is the one that I started writing down in, is that one. Oh, I forgot to put on my super stuff. My super hydrosis. Oh, I'm not, thank you, Ashley. I'm not going to make them thicker. I want to, you'll see, it's just going to make the shape more of an arch than a this. I'm a triple Scorpio. So instead of the round, it's going to have same shape. It's just going to add a couple more hairs in here and there so that I have more of an arch than a round thing. Cora is one of my friends. If we lived closer, we'd be best friends. And I don't think we have much in common, but we are opposites attract. Oh, I haven't drank in years, so I'm actually going to go get intoxicated on purpose. Yeah, I'm not going to, it's just going to, I'm missing, no, this one, I'm missing a couple under, and then I'm missing a couple up, so it's just going to give me more of an arch and less of a round. What kind of interview is this? What? So, I'm very excited. Yeah, we have a weird, like, astral connection. Like, I think that we knew each other, not in a human timeline. I think we knew each other or were sisters or something in a non-human timeline. Like an, all right, Brooklyn, like a non-human timeline, you know, like in the astral or in the cosmos. Why on purpose? I don't know what's going on right now. Bye. So, and I'm going to go eat at a French restaurant. French. Okay. I need to cut that light off because certain aspects about my eyes are showing up. And if y'all saw that, no, you didn't. If y'all saw that, no, you didn't. And I will so be cutting that out of the final video. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. That's why I'm so pushing to get absolutely all the backed up orders out before, so I can just be worry free. I am getting drunk on purpose. Well, tipsy. I like the way it feels. I'm just not. Oh no, it's not a lot of effort. No, I haven't drank considerably in so long. I could probably get buzzed off of 3 beers. All right, gamer. What's my drink of choice when I drink? I like shots of liquor spaced out by a wine or a beer. If I'm sitting down and I'm at a place where I can get a mixed drink, then I will get a royal flush. I don't know if anybody nowadays knows what a royal flush is, but you should, because it has so many different liquors in it and it tastes like non-alcoholic when they're done. So if I'm able to sit and have a good mixed drink, I want a royal flush. I really hope that's my cat. The reason I say that is because I've been to places and the younger, I guess y'all aren't taught that anymore. But y'all do want to make it. I notice when you ask a young bartender, do they know what a royal flush is? They get really excited. And they're like, no, but I'll find out what it is. And I'm like, okay. The royal flush made with Crown is my favorite. I think your base liquor can be brandy or I don't know even. What is Crown? Is Crown brandy? Is Crown Royal brandy? Hey, I won't be live much longer. I already did the whole thingy. It's whiskey. Okay. So I like the Crown Royal to be the base liquor for a royal flush. I haven't even, I'd have to look up what's all in a royal flush. It's a bunch of different shit. You make it in a mixed drink, it's great. What is Fireball? That's whiskey? Cinnamon whiskey, right? Yeah. I like shots of Fireball. They're fun. A little mama fun better than no mama fun. I also like Dom Perignon. I may be saying that incorrectly because I am from South Carolina. But I don't care how many Cristal and all that other stuff that comes out. They ain't got nothing on Dom, and they never have. Dom is fantastic. It is a beautiful thing. Yeah. Whiskey, peach schnapps, and cranberry juice is a royal flush. I put something else in there with that peach schnapps. Hold on. It's that liqueur that tastes like almond stuff. Amaretto? The old school one was Crown, peach schnapps, amaretto, and Coke, I think. Because there's like, I started drinking them from so young that I know that there's more than 2 bottles that go into it. I am not a professional. What does somebody say about Chambord? All I know is they usually had 3 to 5 bottles that went into a royal flush. Because a royal flush is 5 matching cards. So I know like 4 of them were liquors or liqueurs, and then 1 was the Coke. Or cranberry juice, excuse me, not Coke, cranberry juice. I think the reason I like the Royal Flush so much is it's very smooth, and if you get it as a mixed drink, it's a very gradual intoxication because it doesn't take many of those to fuck you up. So you can get a good Royal Flush and just sit there and sip on it. And you don't get, you know how you can get over drunk too fast? And you don't get that with a good Royal Flush. You just sit there and you enjoy it, and you can maintain a tipsy level where everything's fun without getting sick. I'm doing good. Well, no, but if you know watermelon Mountain Dew, I hate watermelon Mountain Dew, man. I can't stand gin either, so that probably wouldn't be a good thing for me. I know it sneaks up on you, but I think it's because it's so gradual. You can actually maintain your tipsiness. Gin smells like some kind of corrosive. It smells and tastes like some kind of corrosive cleaner. I absolutely cannot take it. I don't like scotch either. Oh my God, no. Absolutely not. I can't. I did find out because I came up with so many different types of Latinos that you can drink tequila all night long as you're dancing the whole time. That's why they drink so much and they don't get knocked down drunk until the end of the night. So whenever you go to a Latino party where there's lots of dancing, especially all my Mexican friends, like a wedding I went to, you know, they go around when you're dancing, they go around, they just pour tequila in your mouth while you're dancing. It doesn't matter because you're dancing so hard and sweating so much that you just stay tipsy. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. So that's the key. I won't, every now and then I'll get a shot of tequila, but generally I reserve that for if I'm dancing. If I know I'm going to be dancing, you can drink tequila all night and not get vomitous sick, because I don't know if it's the way your body metabolizes tequila in particular, but as long as you're dancing and moving and sweating up a storm, it doesn't have a chance to build up, I guess, and so you just stay tipsy. I also like buttery nipples. Those are very good, especially if you make it as a drink instead of a shot. Yeah. All I know is you keep dancing. It don't matter how much you drink, they'll come by. Way more than you normally could if you're just sitting down and taking shots, I'll tell you that. I consumed so much tequila at parties with my Latino and Hispanic friends and never had an adverse reaction. Now, if I was just getting drunk, I would throw my guts up. Liqueurs are better anyway. I mean, let's be real. I do have some liquors. There's something chair. Hold on, they're in my. Hold please. Hey, chicken. Hey, Jaded. You might want to come here. Okay, so Blue Chair makes several different. The ones in the blue bottle are the best. The red is coconut spiced rum cream. Come here, let me show you what I found in the freezer.
My blue chair.
All right. So this one is coconut spiced rum cream.
Oh, that's the highest percentage version.
And then
I don't like that one that much.
I'll tell you exactly how I taught my cat not to. Banana run cream.
That's the good one. That tastes like shit.
I don't think it tastes like shit. All right, this one is banana rum cream. Oh my god!
My favorite one is the blue one. I think it's some kind of pineapple. Just type in blue chair and you'll see the blue one. That's my favorite one.
Oh, they're so tasty. So blue chair rum creams are fucking delicious, just so you know.
I don't like to taste the alcohol, but I fucking love the rum. That's why I'm making faces still. I don't like alcohol.
That's why I called you in here, because I found those two when I cleaned out the freezer. And I knew you'd be mad if I ate them just by myself. So, how to teach your cat not to attack your parrot.
Make an attack parrot.
There's one way to do it, but you can't live in an apartment. So, what you do is, you could do it in an apartment technically. You get a game hen. That is a type of chicken. It's a very specific type of chicken. You get a game hen. Okay? And when she decides that she wants to start sitting on eggs, you get her fertile eggs. Okay? You can order them off of eBay. Or if you have space, you can get a rooster and let her hatch out those babies. And then let your cat anywhere near her. Because he'll see the baby chicks and he's like, oh yeah, dinner. He will be absolutely annihilated by this game hen. And that's it. That's done. They learn that any kind of large bird is an absolute no-go. If you don't raise them from a kitten with a bird. So any sort of bird that is larger than like a robin, they're like, absolutely not. They won't. That's the one thing about cats is they learn a lot faster than dogs. And all it takes is one lesson from that game hen. And if it is a bird larger than a robin, they're like, nope, that's one of those soft limits. Not even going to touch it. Nope. That's the end of the story. Now, my dogs are trained not to attack anything smaller than them. A Chihuahua can even come up and bite their lip, and they'll just shake the dog off. But dogs are still dogs, and cats are still cats. So if I leave my house, there is nothing in the room with my bird. Nothing. There are no animals in there. Because at the end of the day, they might have a slip up. And, if they do, that's it. So even though they're trained, I would never leave my bird alone with either of them. I trust my dog completely, and I would never leave my baby alone with them. Never. That would never happen. It just wouldn't. And I mean like infant, like helpless infant. That would never happen. No. Well, now that he can get out his anger every morning, it seems to work fine. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I was right next to him, I could, because they are trained for commands and hand signals. But, no, I would never leave them unattended. That's what he wants. He wants to kick that water bottle's ass every morning. And then as soon as he's done, he gets his little pistachio, and he's not aggressive for the rest of the day. And now we got fucking feathers coming back in. He's singing. Right now, he's up to singing once a day. Just same routine for me. Right now, he's up to singing once a day, which is awesome. Naturally, they usually sing about twice a day. Isn't that right, chicken? But he's up to once a day, and that's more than none a day. So, sleep paralysis. I had sleep paralysis up until the age of roughly 9 or 10 because my grandma, I didn't know that you could control your dreams. Okay. So when my grandma informed me of that, it took me about 3 more sleep paralysis dreams to stop it. The first time I almost got turned around in time. The second time I got turned around in time, but I tripped and fell. And the third time I was able to turn around and say no to what was chasing me in my dream that caused my paralysis. So you can actually control that. And I haven't had sleep paralysis since. But I don't know how to tell you to do it. I just didn't know you could. I didn't know you could stop doing things in dreams. So you actually can. Yeah. You actually can change your actions in a repetitive dream. But it did take me 3 times. And you got to remember, when you're a kid, you think you can't do something until somebody says you can. So that's what I did. So you got to go about it like that. Like, you're a kid and they're like, oh, yes, you can. You can do that in your dream. You're like, fuck, I didn't know that. Sleep paralysis first step. Do you know how to cause it? No. And I am not interested in astral projection. No, thank you. I've done it accidentally. And I've done it one time through a guided session. And I was like, yeah, I don't really have no, I'm good. I'm just not on my pay scale. I'm not interested in learning stuff that has to do with that. Well, here's the thing when it comes to angel magic. What you have to understand is that if you take the Christian God and all his angels, and you take the Christian devil and all his demons, you get the same pantheon that has existed everywhere. There's no difference. So as long as you understand that when you're using angel magic, you're just talking to the same deities that have always existed, then I don't really see a problem with it. I'm not going to I don't feel like doing witchcraft advice, so I'm not going to be answering any more questions concerning that. It's not what I came on here to do tonight. I'm not in the mood. I think I'm going to go after this cigarette. But as for me not wanting to astral project, I have no. I got enough shit going on here that I don't have an interest in astral projecting. I'm good. The one guided astral projection, I was like, where am I? And I realized I was in Asia, and there was like this very, very fucking old, wise looking, like, Asian guy that had like the long beard and stuff, and he told me to go west. And I was like, I think this is just a way of going, get the hell out of here. I'm just not, I got too much stuff going on. I was like, no problem. I got too much shit going on in this people plane this lifetime that I'm really not. My face feels fine. What is pie me? What's that? Pay me? It's feeling fine. Yeah, I was like, good, cool, dude, I'm out. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good doing my witchcraft shit here with physical ingredients and shit. I'm good. Oh, yeah. 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 He was a very typical looking representation. The microabrasion was fine. Apparently, folks are being attacking the astrals. The keepers are chasing them out from time. I mean, I don't know. If they're doing that, then I guess get the fuck out. I don't know. I don't keep up with this shit. I think a lot of people play pretend. That's what I think. Hey, whatever gets you going there, Bizarre. I was just like, I want them to stop happening. So that's why I did what my grandma said. I didn't know you could do that. I was like, oh, for real? I can do that? Thanks. It also is getting a um regular Dr. Penn derma needling pen. I think it's a 0.5 pen. So for maintenance of your face. It's unopened. I bought the wrong one. And I was like, well, hell, I'll put that in a raffle too. My face is so shiny from all the serums. Yoni steams, do they help sexual trauma? You can actually say sexual here because we're on YouTube. There are, I use a douche. Okay. There is a very specific set of herbs, and they differ between brujeria and what I do. But each, in Africa, they differ. There's a very specific set of herbs in each culture that you let set in vinegar and then for a little bit, and then you strain the herbs out and you douche with that vinegar and water mixture. And the reason, they found this out for sure in science. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'll let you in on it. When a man's seminal fluid, okay, so not the little sperms, if a man ejaculates in you, the seminal fluid can make genetic changes to the eggs that are not ripe. Okay? Do y'all hear me? Not the little sperms. The seminal fluid contains bits and pieces of DNA and RNA, just like viruses do. And viruses can change your DNA. And the seminal fluid can keep going all the way up and cross that little gap to your ovaries. And it can cause DNA changes in your unripened eggs. Now, back in the day, we didn't know this, so everybody thought we were full of shit. But there are very specific herbs. Yes, your kids will look like your ex, or they'll have the height of your ex, stuff like that. So whenever you have a traumatic experience, if you can get to us soon enough, the herbs also have physical properties that break that shit down and pull it out. If you can't get to us quick enough, it does have the magical properties that pulls the energy contained in those fluids out of you. So this is why I try to explain to women without upsetting their free will. I don't care if you hoe around, but you need to wrap that shit up, okay? I see that y'all don't care about diseases, but you might want to not have your unripened egg altered by 60 men that you slept with. And that's exactly what happens. So, it is different for a woman, whether y'all want to admit it or not. It's more faceted. It's more faceted. I was a hoe. I went through my hoe stage for years. I had sex with people, I can't even tell you their name. It was like in the middle of a rave. I don't know who they were. I don't care. It was fun. But wrap it up. So yes, the yoni steam is not as ineffective as the actual douche. The douche, you get the douche applicator from Amazon, and then you get the herb mix from us, which mine will be up in December. If you saw my video of why my shop is closed right now, it'll be up in December. The quicker you can get that in you, the better, but it will still work. You could have had a sexual assault 30-something years ago, okay? And the magical correlations of the herbs will still pull any of that corrosive stuff that is affecting your spiritual body out. But yeah, women have to be, it's different, okay? Things are going inside your body. Things do not go inside the male body. They just don't. So I am all for having hoe moments or having a hoe time. All for it. I did it. It was great. But you better have them wrap that shit up. Wrap it up. It'll get it right off. It'll get it right off. And each culture has a different set from the surroundings that they live in. So Africa has one set of herbs. Well, North Africa has one set. South Africa, Middle and South have a different set because of the rainforest and all that. Native Americans have a set. English have a set. South Americans have a set. And it differs whether you're in the rainforest region or you're like in the high altitude region. Well, okay, I'm a guy. But even the thing is that even if you are no matter what your sexuality, if you exchange bodily fluids with someone else that you are no longer with, and there is anger between the two of you, you still need to get it out. Men do it, they stick the douche up their butt. It still gets it out of your being. So it doesn't matter. It's just more organically problematic in heterosexual coupling. So there's that. And the in-person, I used to do this in person only, and it was like under the table. It was like, hush, because it can be invasive. Dude, we douched, everybody douched up until 2000, okay? It doesn't, if you douched every single fucking day, yeah. Every woman on the planet douched up until the year 2000. It doesn't do anything wrong. After every period, I douched. Because I had a tilted uterus and I wanted to flush out anything hanging out in there that was going to ruin my drawers. Okay? So we all douched up until the year 2000, and all of a sudden they were like, douching's bad. Like, no, if you douched every damn day, yes, that would be bad. But it's just like they tell you not to use soap on your vagina. Excuse me? Not up in your canal, but you better be washing that thing with soap. What the fuck? Don't come near me. You better wash that shit out. Your flaps better be washed, okay? I don't care what they told you. You better wash them flappers out. Okay, bacteria does grow in there. You have to keep a handle on that. Just using your hand and water, it's not going to handle that shit. God. I remember when Jaded first came to me, I was like, oh, hell no, you better wash that shit out. Don't go up in yourself. But damn, handle your pussy. You nasty. Like, no. Yeah, you better wash that kitty, okay? They're just talking about the inside. Hey, don't go putting soapy water up in your damn canal. Yeah, it's fucking I don't know what happened in the year 2000. Everybody was suddenly like, no, or no, well, no, I guess more than, I'm old. 2010 is when that started. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? You better wash in there. You're gonna have some crusty flap flaps. You're gonna be making bread in your flap flaps. Yeah, you never know where my conversation is gonna go. Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, don't ever douche. Bitch, what? What? Do you know how long it takes some of us to get our leftovers out after our period? I'm 100% douching on the day after my period stops. Like, I don't want that old ass shit creeping out all of a sudden, ruining my drawers. The fuck? Yes, men in here, we have to deal with this shit. Like, bitch, what? No. Get it out. Especially if you're like me and you have a tilted uterus. Get it out. Yeah. Did I ever tell y'all the story about my Norplant birth control that's still in there? Have I ever told y'all that story? It's in the feminine hygiene aisle. It'll say like Vagisil, or there's another one in there that does it. People should be more worried about using tampons. Yes. Oh my Lord, I don't use tampons. You want to hear about my Norplant? Okay. So 7 years ago. Okay, no. So I'm one of those people that the shot. I don't want to use Diva Cup. What was I saying? Oh. So I'm one of those people where the Depo-Provera shot does not make me gain weight. I was fat before, and when I was young and got the Depo shot, it didn't make me fat. So I'm lucky. So I can take Depo without getting fat. And if the Depo doesn't make you fat, that's the same thing that's in implants. So Norplant, Nexplanon, any of those. Okay? It's the same thing. So you can get those without worrying about getting fat. I got this thing put in when I had Medicaid back in 2015. It was supposed to come out in 2018. It is now almost 2023. So, wait a minute. So what happened was, the reason I stayed on those is not only did it not make me gain weight, but it made my period go away. And I was like, yes. So first of all, I straight fucking forgot in 2018. I just forgot. And then I remembered in 2019, but I no longer had Medicaid, and it was like $1 billion to get it out. And I was like, well, I could take it out myself because, you know, I give no fucks. But then I was like, let me look it up first. So I went to go look it up, and guess what? There are so many women in this country that get the implant while they're on Medicaid and then lose their Medicaid, and so they leave their implant in. There's one lady on there, there's more than one that have had it in there over 10 years and is still trucking along. And so then I was like, you know what? Big Pharma is the one who tells you when you should take it out and when you shouldn't. So I bet this thing works plenty longer than 3 years. It's just Big Pharma wants to sell you another one. So my doctors are well aware that this implant has been in my arm since 2015. And they run my blood work once a year, and everything is fine. Everything is fine. Nothing has changed. It is still putting the correct amount of, is it androgen that I use or estrogen? I don't know. It's still putting the correct amounts. So instead of having to take, shit, what is that happens in the middle of your life where you got to get put on Premarin for? What's it called? Oh, come on. Women get it. You got to go on Premarin because you don't make hormones anymore. Somebody help me. It's just escaping me right now. Menopause. Yes. So I never started menopause. I've never felt menopause anything. Because the IUD is still trucking along. And so they do my blood work every year and it's still trucking along. So I've never even had to deal with the emotional up and down and hot flashes of menopause. And I'm 40, I'll be 46 this month. So I'm just letting you know that if you can't take out your implant, but when they run your blood once a month and you come out fine, don't worry about it. My doctors know it's in there. And it hasn't capsulated or anything. Like I could pop it out at you in my skin right now if I want to. I'd have to find it. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, here it is. It has moved from its original position, so we keep track of it. But here, I don't know if you can see me pop it out. See? Can you see me pop it out of the skin? Can you see it? Boop, boop, boop. It originally went in there. But it came down to here just because of my fat. My arm's fatter. It's not capsulated. It's not encapsulated or anything. My body's just like, cool, we like this. We're just going to keep on trucking along with it in there. So, well, I got fatter, so I actually have to go find it. It's deeper than what it was when I started. But, boop. So, but when I was the right weight, yeah, you could feel exactly where it was. But yeah, so I'm just here to let y'all know that if you can't get it out, go look it up. Women have had it me in for years, and I was like, I bet this is a big pharma thing. That's what they do. Do you know that's why they put expiration dates on medication? Your pain medication is still effective a year after the expiration date, and then it slowly starts to decrease after that. Your medicine doesn't fucking expire. Same thing while they have expiration dates on aspirin, Tylenol, all that shit. And so that's why I was like, wait a minute. I bet this thing works just fine. It's just Big Pharma wants to have the money to put another one in. So yeah, anyway, there you go, FYI. Thank goodness I haven't had to do anything menopausal. I'm sure that's what they taught them, Mage. I'm sure that's what they teach them in pharmacy school. A pharmacist can't go, that's not really expired. You know what I'm saying? I've taken the stuff. When you're raised dirt poor in the South, and you have a broken tooth that's infected, and the only thing that you can find is a 6-year-old Lortab 10, you take it, and it works. Okay, they're not going to teach a pharmacist to go against that. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you from experience. It's not my opinion. I'm telling you from experience. I think that Lortab was 6 or 7 years old that I found in my dead grandmother's prescription bottle. Well, there's Big Pharma in Soviet Union. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. I still take fish mocks. You can also get antibiotics from Tractor Supply. I'd say if they still work with Big Pharma as to the medications and stuff. But I'm not saying that your mom is wrong. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're not going to train any pharmacist to go, no, it's okay to keep taking that. Or I found this Lortab from 6 years ago. No pharmacist is going to go to, that's okay, take it. They don't, no pharmacist is going to be trained that way. That would be horrible. Because what if something did happen? Then they're going to be back on the pharmacist. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not at all saying that your mom was trained incorrectly or that she is wrong. I don't mean that at all. Yeah, fish mocks. But you can get it, you can get the same types of antibiotics in Tractor Supply. And that's why Big Pharma also started making people have to get a visit and a prescription for pet medications. You used to not have to. Oh, Lord. No, that's not how that works. That's Big Pharma. Big Pharma is the one that pushed that onto the veterinary line. They can't get it pushed over into the farming culture because the farmers are like, you've lost your fucking mind. Absolutely not. Which is why I still take my dogs and I drive an hour to go to a farm vet instead of these new age vets. I can't. They literally took Fats in 5 minutes and brought him back out. Oh, we can't do his nails. He's being aggressive. I thought this was a veterinary office. What? What do you mean? I was like, you know what? Bring my other dog out now, too. I don't want you to touch my animals literally at all. I will drive an hour to the farm vet. That was embarrassing. I literally get my Comfortus from the UK. It is cheaper for me to buy it plus shipping and have it sent to me from the UK. Every year I buy it from the UK because they want me to come in for a visit every time I want it. And then they want to give me whatever's current. I said, bitch, I want Comfortus. I didn't ask you about that other thing. No, I have 2 black mutts. But the fact that I went to a vet office and they told me that they couldn't cut my dog's nails because he was too aggressive. And they told me his aggression. Well, when we grabbed his feet, he growled at us. Give me back my other dog too. No, I'm not giving you my money. Give me all the dogs back. Because you suck as a veterinary clinic. I can't. Both dogs back. And they were like, well, Bob's being nice. I was like, no, you don't get my money. Both dogs back. We go down to, the next day. I made an appointment, drove an hour to the farm vet. No problems. No problems. In and out. They were like, well, maybe we can give you gabapentin. You need to give my dog gabapentin to cut its nails. I don't need to be here. You're a pussy, and I can't deal with you. So give me back my dogs. I'm not giving you any of my money. It was insane. What? What? These new, if your veterinarian is less than 30 years old, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've been duped. They can mess up. They can mess up. But the thing is when the old farmer vets mess up, what that would have done in a new age vet is they would have put it on these people quality medical equipment and charged you about $5,000 while you figured out whether or not you wanted to let your pet live or put it down. I'm sorry, what? 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 No. Absolutely not. I love my dog. Don't get me wrong. But if you think I'm going to pay you $2,000 for a 30-minute procedure so that they can put on medical equipment that people are put on, I can't do business with you. No, I'm sorry. When you go to an old school farm vet, they will knock the dog out, put a tube in his throat, knock him out with no equipment, do the procedure, stow him up, pull the tube out when the anesthesia starts wearing off, and let the dog wake up. Period. Cats too. But now, they want you to use these people-grade medical equipment. I'm sorry. No. I love my dogs, okay? I just want to have them neutered, all right? I don't need a $2,000 neuter bill because you need to apply. You had to have an anesthetician in the room and an RN. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to be doing that today. That's ridiculousness. And people pay for it, too. They pay for it. And I'm not talking about a horse, y'all. I'm talking about, like, your dog. I love my dog. But that's crazy. That's insane. To me, look, y'all can go all out for your animals. Let me specify. To me, that is crazy. I know people that get their dogs open heart surgery. I know 2 of them. Absolutely not. Never going to happen. Nope. Nada. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if they want to, have at it. Your money, your bond, your animal. Okay? So let me make that clear. If you're one of the people that does view your pet as a human being and you want to do all that stuff, I'm not going to judge you. To me, that is insanity. I love my dog. It is not a person. No, these dogs went through open heart surgery and they did fine. I'm not doing it. Yeah, no, not going to do it. No. I'd be like, well, Fats, I guess you're just not going to be moving as fast until your heart finally gives out. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Let's go home. They're dogs. They don't know. It would be different if the dog was like, I can't believe you're not going to give me open heart surgery. That's not how dogs work. They're like, I don't know why you're poking me with all these things. I don't know why. Can we go home now? You know? If you can afford that, what would you do for you? Yeah, you missed the microneedling, but I'm going to upload it. It's fine. Yeah. I don't care if somebody else does it. I'm 100% not doing that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. The one thing that I never understood in... Damn. The one thing that I never understood that they took so long to fix. I've been around for 46 years. If a four-legged animal that was like a horse or a cow broke one of their legs, they put them down. That was just, bloop. I don't care. Bloop, no. If they broke a leg, that's it. You put them down. And I was like, I didn't understand it because there have been cases where the Mustangs break a leg. There's nobody there to help them, and they do recover. Not fully, but they do. So I never understood. Oh my God, Cora. I never understood why they never put scaffoldings. Yeah, Jada. Why they never put scaffoldings on broken legs of four-legged animals. You know, where you set the bone, it has the scaffolding on the outside. Never understood that. Or why they never made the prosthetics if they had to lose part of their leg. Never understood that. Animals don't need a fancy prosthetic. They can get it nowadays, but they don't need a fancy one. So I never understood why they were so quick to put those animals down when there were, if it was a pet, like a pet horse, there were reasonable ways to not put down the animal. I never understood that. And then when I got into raising chickens, they don't do it now, but when I got into raising chickens, sometimes if the incubator is too hot, or if the mom made her nest that when she got off it was exposed to the sun, the chicken's legs will come out pigeon-footed like this. So they walk with their toes curled in like that. They'll walk forward. Nadia, yes, that's why I meant like, I understand that, but I meant like if it was a pet, not stock. So they walk like this. And so whenever that first happened to me as I was raising chickens, or when I had an adult chicken have some kind of accident that fucked up their leg or foot, they would kill these birds. They would kill the chicks. And I was like, why would you do that? Because their bones are so flexible when they're little. So whenever I had one of these, or whenever I had an adult that broke toes or a foot or a leg, I would, the little chickens would walk on these, I would tape their feet onto cardboard pads, and I would tape them down so they were forced to be spread out. So it looked like they were walking on little snowshoes. That's all you have to do. And it literally takes 2 weeks for them to just be using their little snowshoes. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, you cut them off and they're fine. Their bones are so flexible. And for the adults, you just splint it with popsicle sticks. You splint and tape. And they're done. They're fine. And I was like, it's literally a piece of wood and duct tape. I don't know how... I don't know how much easier you can get. I don't have them anymore where I live. After my back injury messed up, I used to raise show chickens and fighting chickens. Yes, fighting chickens. I would get like between $300 and $500 per rooster. And also show chickens, the big floofy, let's go to the show. But when my back injury fucked up, I could not spend the time with them that I needed because I had 200 chickens. That was my hobby, and I spent every evening out there, and every single chicken got individual care. And then when my back fucked up again, I could not give them what they needed at all. And so, and on top of that, right about the same time, they made cockfighting a felony. If I'm going to go to jail, it's going to be for a felony. It's going to be like murder. Not, what are you in for? Cockfighting. Like, no. So, those two things together, I sold everything that I had. But mostly it was because I could not take care of them the way they needed to be taken care of. When you raise, well, there are pieces of shit in cockfighting. There's a really nasty element to it. But the respectable side of the sport, the level of feed that I had to hand mix to give these roosters or setting hens, or I'm sorry, hens that were laying every day. The amount of individual attention that every single chicken got, and the show chickens as well, all the different varieties. You know, they got very specific feeds and attention and housing for their specific attributes. I just couldn't give them the care that they needed. It wasn't fair to them. So, and I did have regular chickens that I ate too, but I couldn't do that anymore either. That was, God, fucking, I'm 40, I'll be 46 this month. It's like 10 years ago. Honeypaw retracted their message. A lot of people get really upset when they hear that I was in the cockfighting world. Not in the dogfighting world. No, no. But the one thing I try to explain to people is if you went to a football field, a regulation NFL football field, right? And you put one rooster in one end zone, game rooster, in one end zone, and you put a different game rooster in the other end zone, and do nothing, they will come to each other and they will fight until one of them can't move anymore. So you don't have to train them to do that. That's the way they are. They were bred that way. That's what they do. You don't have to train them. You don't have to train them to attack anything. That's what they do. And it's, of course, it's not like that with dogs and stuff. That's messed up. Dog fights. But I know they still do stallion fights in South America. And boy, if you don't have respect for horses, you will after you see one of them fucking things. You think just because they don't have horns like a bull? I'm glad that doesn't happen anymore. That's some serious shit, dude. Those dudes do not play. It's horrible. But I won't get too far in it. But I was, like, I lied, I'm going to go into it. So, like, there are a lot of shitty people in the cockfighting world. If their chicken loses, they will literally grab their chicken out of the ring, wring its neck, and throw it into the dead pit. They don't even make sure it's dead. They just assume it's dead because they wrung its neck. I don't think I have ever lost, but my chickens would still get injuries. And they would win. I paid a lot of rent during that time. A lot of rent in the fall and winter. But they would still get a lot of injuries unless it was a one hit where they go in and like pop out in the head and the other chicken's dead. They would get a lot of injuries. And I took every single one of my chickens home. And I nursed every single one of them back up to health. Because if I just raised this animal and now I'm putting it in a pit with another rooster, the least I could do is take the motherfucking thing home and take care of it. There have been so many roosters that were still alive. I would wait till everybody left and get these poor birds that were in the dead pit because they just covered up with the bulldozer. That those people knew if I showed up to a show to wait, because I would go, my friend Russ, who's dead now, and jump into the dead pit with all these birds, for the living ones. They're just going to cover them up. I'm like, y'all are fucked up. And I would take their birds home and doctor them up back to health. So it's actually, as much as I love cockfighting, it was very, it needed to be illegal. Because the amount of people that don't give a shit was more, way more than the amount of people that did. So it was good that it was made a felony, actually. But they just, in the United States, because it's Americans, there's just this huge group of people that find no value in the life of that animal. And they don't care. They literally will shoot them up with certain drugs, which is illegal, in order to make them fight, which they always lost, because if I knew a show was coming up, that's Mexicans, Lacey. That's a different type of chicken fight. I didn't do that. It's mostly Mexicans, but a lot of Central and South Americans fight that way. I did sell to those people, though, but I'll get to that in a minute. So we used metal spurs, is what I did. But, these people would grab a chicken. I would train. If I knew a show was coming, I would train my chicken for a good 30 days. And by train, you don't train them to fight. You're building up their muscle and their stamina. So in other words, they have to go up a set of stairs over and over again. The only perch they have is on a swing, right? Because that helps them keep their balance. And you have to train a chicken to know to flip over if it gets put on its back. You ever seen a chicken go into a trance when you put it on its back? If that happens in the ring, you lose. So you have to train the roosters out of that natural thing that occurs, so that if they get on their back, they immediately flip out. They won't go into the trance. And so mine would always win. Always. I don't care. They really didn't like me there. And when I first started, my friend had to fight my chickens. They couldn't know it was a woman. Yeah. They couldn't know they were fighting against a woman. So my chickens always won. But we use spurs. When you get into Mexicans and Central and South Americans, I don't know about Asia. Cockfighting's big over in Asia too, but I don't know what they use. So they use a razor fight. So their fights are quick, bloody, and over. Quick, bloody, and over. And they hook razor blades to the back of their feet. And so I bred this specific type of chicken, and it looked like a crow. That's what it looked like. Everybody said that there's a breed of chicken from Sumatra called the Sumatran. And it is slick black with iridescence. It's not the Asimani. But this is a natural breed from Sumatra. And so they only fight during the breeding season. And they also have 3 or 4 dull spurs instead of 1. I wanted to breed a fighting chicken that looked like a crow. That's what I wanted to breed. And I did, by combining the Sumatran females with what's called a black warhorse game chicken. And eventually I did it. So I made a rooster that looked like a raven. Period. But it sucked at white people chicken fighting. So it did not have the duration or the power, these are their feet, to use spurs. My friend, I would go against my friend Russ. He also had the winningest roosters. But because they go so high with the razor blades, when they first come out, they were excellent for them. And so I would sell them for about $400 to $500 a pop. After the first guy won with one, they would come back. I lived back in the cut, and they would come back down with like their friends, and they would buy me out each year of my raven roosters. And my little farm was called Black Whisper Hills, but they would buy me out. And so if I had 6 roosters from that year, and they were $400 or $500 a pop, you get the math. So I was able to pay rent for a couple months by selling them, those chickens. If you win, if you win with the razor blades, so they go up and the other chicken doesn't have a chance and they're just like, yes, you can fight again. But that is the way they fight with the razor blades. The chickens are very disposable, and I did not like that. It's weird that you have different levels of basically what people would call animal abuse. I don't do it now, but I didn't like that. So I didn't do it. But now I don't do it at all. In South Florida is where I learned about dog fighting. I did not attend those because I just can't. I just can't. I can't. But what I did learn is, you know how everybody, when it comes to pit bulls or any of the bully breeds, because they got pit bull in them at some time during their breeding. And keep in mind, before I say this, I like pit bulls. I've had 2 purebred ones, and I have 2 mutts crossed with pit bulls now. But that phrase, "it's the owner, not the breed," absolutely does not apply anymore. It stopped applying in roughly around between 1998 and the year 2000. And I'm going to tell you why. So, does anybody want to hear this? Why it does not apply anymore? That it is the breed, it's not the owner? Because I can tell you if you want to hear. No? Does nobody want to know? Because I'm not going to tell you something you don't want to know about. Okay. So, this is why has not been, it's not the owner, no, it's not the breed, it's the owner. It's not been the case since around 1998 in America. Before 1998, 99, when you had a litter of puppies, and those puppies would not naturally try to attack each other over a food bowl. No, I don't mean growl. I mean tiny puppies trying to annihilate each other over a food bowl. You had a placid puppy. You culled them. That means they die. They die. They're not going to make you any money. So you kill them. And that placid gene is not passed on. However, these and the game breeds were not sold in the pet trade at all. However, come 1998, 1999, pit bulls became trendy. And the breeders of fighting stock realized that they could get from 300 to 500 per placid puppy. So they stopped culling them and started putting them and selling them in the pet market. Now, if you know anything about genetics, I have brown eyes that are green sometimes. I could have a blue-eyed child. You don't see the blue eyes in me, but I carry the gene for blue eyes from my father. Okay? When you have a placid puppy, it's still carrying the genes of die, motherfucker, die. They're just in the background, so you just have happy puppy. But it can come out in their children. So when you sell one of these dogs into the pet trade, and it's bred to another pet trade dog, you have no idea which one of those puppies are going to flip on you. Right, Cora. So, until somebody can show me by looking at a dog if that one has killer in it and that one don't, I am not okay. I think that pit bull breeding should be absolutely stopped for 10 years. Period. Period. End of story. All bully breeds should be stopped. Because do you know how many hundreds of thousands of killer pit bull stock has been put in and is still put in to the pet stock from 1998 till today. You're playing Russian roulette. And it just so happens that pit bulls have an actual lobby in Congress. It is a huge, powerful lobby. That's why no laws ever get passed against pit bulls. They have their own lobby. So, it is no longer, it's not the owner. It's not the breed, it's the owner. It is really the breed. Now, the owners don't help. But so many pit bulls that were raised correctly by the right kind of people and trained behaviorally by the right kind of people and were great dogs have ripped babies out of people's arms and killed them. There is, I'll try to think of the YouTube video. It's just the pit bull lobby prevents these from going on to the news. German Shepherds need to be trained, period. Okay? There are certain classes of dogs, and another dog that you never hear about that is Huskies. Huskies. You never hear about the extraordinarily high prey drive of Huskies. Now, generally, they don't do it to people. Yeah, but I'm saying German Shepherds need training. But Huskies, don't bring anything small around a Husky. If it hasn't been raised with something small, you never hear about that. The wrong people own German Shepherd. There are several breeds which you should not be able to own unless you go through training, have a license, and carry insurance on that dog. Period. It should be illegal to own it unless you can go through the training, behavioral training, and command training. Maintain a license for that dog and maintain insurance on that dog so that when it fucks up, your insurance will cover it. Oh, Huskies, people underestimate the prey drive of Huskies. Yeah. Oh, thank God Chow Chows went out of favor. Let me tell you, the reason is that people pick a dog for looks instead of when it's a working breed. Chow Chow is not considered a working breed now, but it hasn't changed genetically. My dogs are trained from hand signals and verbal signals. A Chow Chow was meant to be an autonomous watchdog. Okay? Autonomous. It worked on its own. It wasn't chained in. It wandered the property of the emperors, and it would fuck up anybody who wasn't supposed to be there. That's not a house dog. It's not a house dog. Dalmatians, that's a working dog. Should not be a house dog. No pit bulls or bully breed of any kind should be a house dog. That is a working dog. And people want to get them because of the way they look or because it's trendy. Yeah. Yep. Newfies are bred to be that way. They're meant to be lifesavers. They're never going to eat you or attack anything. That's what they're bred to do. So it just amazes me that they pick a dog out of looks. Why do you think when people pick Vishlas for looks, it's always a disaster? Always a disaster. German Shepherds for looks, always a disaster. It's a disaster. That's not what you get. And white German Shepherds, absolute psychopaths without training. Oh, yeah. German Shorthair Pointers, not a house dog. No pointer is a house dog. But German Shorthairs are trendy. Not a house dog. Absolutely not. Yeah, and white German Shepherds are crazy. They're crazy. If you train them and you're their owner, they're great. But they're fucking crazy. They are crazy. That's what I'm saying. They're the best for the owner. But for anybody else, they're fucking insane. And they give you no signal. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you the same face signals and body signals that you're able to determine. Oh, no. No. They're just fucking around. You're like, where was my warning? They're crazy. Oh, bulldogs can be very aggressive. Yeah. Yes. Very aggressive. But I think it's animal cruelty to even have those brachiocephalic breeds. Another dog that I'm glad didn't become trendy is the Akita. The Akita needs to never be trendy. Ever. I'm glad that it never caught on. That is what you call the silent attack dog from Japan. And it was bred to be that way. Like if you go that way, he'll stand there and he'll look at you where you move. He's not going to bark at you. He's going to look at you until he decides you're going to die. They have to be a working dog. As in, they live outside the majority of the time, guarding your property. Then you have a very good dog. And Akita can be great. But it is not meant to live in a neighborhood at all. Oh, yeah, I don't like any of the brachiocephalic dog. Another dog that people get because it's so docile, yeah, Akitas are vicious, is English Mastiffs. So they're the one that is that fawn color, but it's almost green. It's like a fawn with a green tint. Cane Corsos get a bad rap, but I'll come back to that. Because they were meant to sneak up on you. That's what they were meant for. They roamed the nobleman's land, and they were meant not to bark. So if he's holding you by growling and you move, you're gone. Dude, I get so mad at rat dog owners. My Chihuahua was raised with adult, regular-sized dogs. So he acted like an adult, regular-sized dog. Anybody that doesn't train their toy breed in the same way that a large breed needs to be trained, I can't stand you. I can't stand it. Don't get mad at me when my dog eats yours. That's your fault. It's just cruel. For any of the brachiocephalic breeds, it's cruel. It's not right. Cane Corsos. Cane Corsos get a bad rap because Cane Corsos look like a giant pit bull. But just because you go into a yard of a Cane Corso or the house of a Cane Corso does not mean it's going to, it'll probably go the other way. They're big, massive, they're very intimidating, but you don't know if that dog's going to actually guard you or if it's going to run. So they got the same personality. You assume they're going to. You assume they're going to. But they don't always do that. But they get a really bad rap because of the way they look. And I like the way they're cut. I don't have any problem with docking and cropping ears. But if you leave them the way they are, they're made like a English Mastiff. So they have the triangle ears and the long tail. But they're assumed that they're going to maul you, is what I'm saying. No. Oh, I'm so mad they brought Doggo Argentinos into the United States. People assume that you're going to get mauled by a cane corso, which is not, that's not what they're known for, but people just assume it because they look like a bully breed, but that's not what's going on there. Presa Canario should never have left the island of Canary. They were bred for a specific thing by a specific type of person. They should never have left that island. Never. Doggo Argentinos made me furious when they allowed those dogs in the United States. They're going to fuck them up here, is what they're going to do. Doggo Argentinos are perfect for where they were bred and what they were used for. These are people that live in rural areas and do hunting of large game. They're going to get ruined in America. They're going to get crossed with pits, and they're going to get ruined. Ruined. I'll get to Dobermans. They should have never been allowed in this country. They served a specific purpose down there, and they are very, very, very good at it. Yes, they should have never been allowed in this country. Period. Period. The African Borbal shouldn't have been allowed in this country either. That was a huge fucking mistake. That dog is made to keep livestock safe from lions. Dobermans depends on the Doberman. They're cries in Argentina. Thank you. Dobermans, some Dobermans will attack, some Dobermans will not. They do need their exercise, but they actually do a pretty good job of being a house dog. Not an apartment dog, but a house dog. No, you're talking about a Rhodesian Ridgeback. I'm talking about the African Borbal. So this is a fucking enormous dog. Enormous. The female is over 100 pounds. They were bred in Africa to protect livestock from lions. Nothing should ever be crossed with a Corso. They can fuck it up too. Lions. And some American was like, you know what? We should bring those to America. No, you shouldn't have. There is no use for any American ever to have a Borbal. Literally ever. These dogs are never in a house. Ever. They have the entire fucking Serengeti to run on. And they protect livestock from a fucking lion. Have you seen a lion? Do you know what lions can do? No reason for those dogs to ever have set paw in America or anywhere else outside of Africa. That was a huge mistake. Enormous. Huge. Gigantic. Huge mistake. I'm glad that, I don't know if y'all know about this, but over in Russia, they're mutts. That's all there are. In Russia, they crossed one of their domestic dogs with the Russian wolf or the Russian version of a coyote. I don't know what it is. Best. Rottweilers are not loose cannons, but I'll come back to that. Best drug dogs ever. They use them in all the airports and in import areas into Russia, and they refuse to export them. And I was like, yes. Rottweilers. Okay, so in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, Rottweilers trended like pit bulls. Not as long as pit bulls have. And I don't know what in America they cross Rottweilers with, but you would get Rottweilers that if you were to look down on them, they had a very triangular head. It was a very triangular type of head. Thanks. And I don't know what they crossed with them to get it. It had shorter hair and a very triangular head. Okay? And that was what happens when Americans mess with dogs. Thankfully, they're almost all gone now, and we're back to the original German bloodline that has a big block head. It's like a square ass head. That is the correct line of Rottweilers that has been tainted with. Okay. Oh no, they were extremely aggressive because they were training, and something was introduced into their bloodline back then. We got rid of, most of them are dead. We're back to the German bloodline of Rottweilers, which is a massive blockhead. They have very thick, wavy fur, and they are actually excellent dogs. Very easy to train. They are not, they are protective, but they do not have a disposition to attack you. Okay, they will, you know, but they're not like, if they get loose, they don't randomly go out and attack you. They still need a strong owner and a well-disciplined training. Oh, don't even get me started on Huskies. But the thing is that Rottweilers have this little thing that they do. Yes, I agree, Cora. Already talked about Dobermans. Rottweilers have this little thing that they do that terrifies people that have not owned a Rottweiler. And there is actually a Rottweiler on TikTok that is known for this. I think his name is Bear. But they'll do this while you're playing or doing something mundane with them. The whole time you're doing something. And it looks like they're going to destroy your face. And they're not. It's the way that they express themselves. like when you give them a bath, right? You're bathing them. The whole time they're in the bath, they're going, just slobbing. Look like they're going to take your face off. They're not. It's exclusive to Rottweilers. Not all Rottweilers do them, but most of them do. And it looks like they're going to just take your face off no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're doing. And if you're, of course, that goes against every other form of communication in the entire dog kingdom. So if you're not aware of that when you get into the Rottweiler, you'll be like, oh my God, my Rottweiler's can't wash it. It's going to take my face off. No, that's not what they're doing. You're in trouble when a Rottweiler stops growling. And they do a closed mouth growl. That's when you're in trouble from a Rottweiler. If they're barking, if they're showing their teeth while they're growling, you're okay. If they stop growling or they do a closed mouth growl, you're fixing to get bit. Period. So that's the one thing that fucks people up with Rottweilers. Yeah, otherwise they're pretty good, but if you are going to own a Rottweiler, you need to learn, you have to be a very, you always control dogs with your mind. Has nothing to do with how much strength that you have. Oh, the trainer that I recommend to everybody is the one that people don't like. That's because when I saw his training come on TV, that's the way I trained. For years, I can't do it now because people say I'm being cruel to animals. But it comes from growing up with dogs and no siblings, basically. And that's Cesar Millan. Period. End of story. He did not invent that. He did not invent that technique. I was doing that for years, and I had to stop training like that within the last 8 years or so because people think that their dogs are people, and they think what I do is animal cruelty. Cesar Millan is the best trainers out there. I've been doing that for years. For years. What you're doing is training your dog the way a dog trains another dog. That's all he's doing. If I showed on here how I had to train my bird to not bite me viciously anymore, I would be called to the ASPCA. Because everybody was telling me you could not discipline a bird. You couldn't. You just had to put up with it. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm a biologist, and that's just not how that works. So I had to dig and dig and dig until I found footage of wild African gray flocks interacting with each other. Now, they don't, I don't know if you've ever been hit by a goose, but when a goose or a swan hits you with their wing, that shit can give you a black eye, okay? That's not how grays settle arguments. And they also don't bite that hard in the wild. They settle arguments by feather slap fights. So they don't even use their wrists. They use the flight feather part. And they'll just be like, they'll do that. They'll run somebody off a branch, right? So they use these. They don't use these. They use these feathers. And they'll, so I tried that with my parrot, and it worked like a charm. You don't injure the parrot. The parrot is not scared of me because it's a natural instinct. But if I was to film that, oh, that's it. Cancel. Cancel! She abuses her bird! But the scarring, and I still have all the scars here, like it had to stop. And nobody was giving me the answers I need. So I was like, well, if it works with dogs, let's go see what birds do. Luckily for me, grays in the wild don't want to risk severe injury. So they literally use the soft part of their flight wings. And they'll be like, "Meow." And it works. I haven't had to do that in a really long time, but getting to where I couldn't even walk past the cage. And he would come at me. And so one time I just did the and he was like, oh my God. Oh my God. How dare you insult me like that? Oh, tweet, tweet, tweet. Like he was so offended that I did the screeching feather. Literally, like, if you're my bird, like, I went, "Brat, brat, 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 brat." And my bird was like, oh my God, I thought she was going to kill me. How dare you talk to me in that manner? Like, he was so offended. So offended. And sometimes he still gets a little out of pocket. And so I can, if he's here, he's coming at me, I will, you know how you can, it's not, people do this with cats all the time. You'll take your foot and you'll scooch the cat out of the way. So you take your hand, when he's coming out, you take your hand and you go, whoop. So it's not really a throw, but of course anybody saw that, they'd be like, animal cruelty. Isn't that right, chicken? So once I got his morning anger routine out, I don't even have to do that anymore. Very rarely. I hear you. Very rarely. But Cesar Millan has the best training techniques, period. Cat. I never understood that either. People were like, you can't train your cat? What? I didn't even hear that until I got on TikTok. And I was like, what are you talking about? You can't train your cat? Yes, you can. It was, dude. But people don't like it. But if your cat's on the counter, you smack the piss out of the cat. It only takes once or twice. Cats learn quick. People don't like that. They don't like it. Especially if you get one as a younger one. So when they're just big enough to get on the cat, well, you smack them right off the cabinet. It only takes them 1 or 2 times. They don't want to get back up there. They learn easy. My cats have never hit me out of anger. Never. Like the stuff I see that people deal with, that has never happened because they're not trained. That happens when they're really young. So that when they're young, what I would do is when you're got your kitten, the first thing you do is have to train your kitten not to flip over when you hold them when they're little. Hold them on their back. They're going to wiggle and wiggle and wiggle and wiggle and try to get out. You just hold them there until they stop wiggling and look at you while they're on their back, and then you let them go. When they get older, they'll try to bite you or to lash out, and I grab them here. Right here. The cat trainer on TV is excellent for all adult cats that you want to fix. I can't remember his name. He carries around a guitar case filled with cat toys. Him. He is very good for adult cats. But when you have one, when they go to bite you and stuff, you grab them right here. And you're like, no. Because that's what the mama cat does. I'm not doing anything cruel. I learned from the mama cat. Cats peeing everywhere. That you're going to go for Jackson Galaxy. Because what you first have to do, and I'm only going to give you a tip, and then you can go find it, is find out the reason they're peeing everywhere, and then you start to get it started. You're going to have multiple cat boxes in your house. But there's a reason they're peeing everywhere. But go look up Jackson Galaxy. He has several episodes dealing with the cat that pees everywhere. Jackson Galaxy is excellent to consult if you have an adult cat who has problems. But you can stop almost every problem from starting if you get a kitten. And if you don't have the observation like I did growing up on a farm, all you have to look up on YouTube is mama cat correcting kitten. It will pull you up tons. You gotta, okay, bye. You can look up mama dog correcting puppy. It'll pull you up tons. You're just copying what the animals do. You're not abusing. You're not punching. You don't need to punch your puppy or punch your kitten. But you can use manual discipline. And it's not going to scar them for life. They're not people. You're just doing exactly what the cat would do or exactly what the dog would do. And that's why whenever Caesar has a dog that won't change focus, and he'll kind of, it's kind of like a light kick to the back end of the dog. And they're like, oh, he's kicking the dog. No, he's doing what another dog would do, except that would be their mouth. I've seen it. Another dog in the pack will come up and bite the shit out of them in a sensitive area. And that dog stops what it's doing. All you have to do is observe how dogs work in the wild. That is all Caesar does. Yeah, it's ridiculous. He's less brutal than another dog is, because another dog will bite the shit out of that other dog. Corporal punishment for humans. If our fucking judicial system wasn't a game for lawyers, if it wasn't a chess game for lawyers, then yes, I would be. But considering the amount of people on death row that have been proven since the DNA technology came about of being completely innocent, no. No. Unless there's videotape of them killing that person, then yes. So I hope that provides your answer. I don't want to pay for the people. I think putting them for life in prison gives every taxpayer a burden they shouldn't have to bear. But if our judicial system wasn't a chess game for lawyers, then yes. I mean, if there's unsurmountable proof that you did it. Yes. But if there's one thing that I've learned in my 46 years, you will never get a jury of your peers. It will never happen. I don't care how big of a charge was placed against me, I would request a bench trial. Period. Americans are too fucking stupid to think logically on a jury. I don't care what I was charged for. I would never elect to have a jury trial. I would elect to have a bench trial, period. End of story. And if y'all don't know what a bench trial is, it means that the judge is your judge and jury. And if you want someone to apply the law instead of their fucking feelings, you get a bench trial. I would hang a jury in a fucking second. Thoughts on spanking kids? Oh, I have a whole thing. If you go to Witchfoot Rumors playlist, yeah. If you go to a Witchfoot Rumors playlist, it will tell you how I feel about spanking. The problem isn't spanking. The problem is people don't know how to use spanking. Let's take my brother, for instance. My mom had to spank him all the time. If you have to spank your kid all the time, spanking is not a tool that works for you. Period. If it worked, you wouldn't have to keep spanking the child. Yeah, they did not like proof. So, yes, that is on my TikTok rumors playlist. I think it's why TikTok thinks I beat my child. Yeah. If you have to constantly spank your child, spanking is not a tool that works for you. You need to retire it. It doesn't work. I tried spanking Jade when he was 2 or 3. He laughed at me. He laughed at me. No, I don't think belt is okay, no. So I knew right then and there that spanking was not going to work. And what it turned out with Jade was to take away her personal time with me as a young person. And then as they got older, to take away their music and their internet. Because that was their stress reliever and their ability to get with their friends. But most importantly is to fucking have a conversation with your kids so they do as little wrong shit as possible. Even though I know there's a lot of people that have kids that are just like, oh my God. They just come out that way. My brother was one. No, timeout didn't work. What I would tell Jay when they were little, oh my God, they were an only child, so they spent their day with me. And so I'd be like, because you did that, you are not going to come out of your room while I watch SpongeBob. You don't get to come in here with me and watch SpongeBob. You have to stay in your room. And the door was open. And it was the worst possible punishment that you could have given that child. Yeah. But Jaded also knew that once they got to a certain age, I've never had to do it. I told them straight up that if they cross the line with me, I will knock the teeth out of their mouth. But I let them know that ahead of time. Don't push me. Okay? I don't give a fuck about the laws. I don't care if you're 15. If you cross the line with me and you up in my face, you're going to be counting your teeth. Period. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But if you communicate with your child, you avoid 99.999% of arguments, period. Are you naked? Are you naked under there? Were you on the phone with your boyfriend?
No.
Oh, you were airing out?
Yeah.
So,
He thinks I'm watching a movie right now, but I can't focus on Incredibles, so I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it.
Hellraiser is one of my favorite movies.
Isn't that the Pine?
Yeah.
Pine Needle Man.
The
That's
first
his
one will
name.
always be my favorite.
That's the Pine Needle Man.
I know what you meant. That's because I just got finished punching a bunch of holes in it and putting serums on it. But I'm gonna go now. I'm tired. Yeah, I loved it. It's still gross today when you watch that movie. You're still like, huh. Alright. I'm gonna go, y'all. Okay. Everyone say bye-bye. Bye-bye. But I have an unhealthy love for Pinhead. It's just sickening. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye.